A perusal of the said decision clearly shows that the conduct of the plaintiff therein was such which precluded him from obtaining a decree for specific performance of contract. In the aforementioned facts and circumstances of the case, it was held that rescission of contract due to non-grant of sanction by the court within the stipulated period was not an act of breach of contract on the part of the vendor. The trial court not only granted a decree for specific performance of contract but also a preliminary decree for partition. The said decision has no application in the facts and circumstances of this case. The submission of Mr. Reddy to the effect that the learned trial judge committed a serious error in granting a decree for partition along with a decree for specific performance of contract need not detain us in view of section 22 within bracket 1 within bracket A of the Act. A decree for partition and separate possession of the property can be granted in addition to a decree for specific performance of contract, as in this case the appellant herein view of the amended prayer C relinquished his claim in respect of the property belonging to the minor respondent number 4. He also prayed for a decree for partition and such a prayer having been allowed, no exception thereto can be taken in any event. The said question has not been raised by the respondents before the High Court at all. Section 22 enacts a rule of pleading that is in order to avoid multiplicity of proceedings. The plaintiff may claim a decree for possession and oblique or partition in a suit for specific performance. Even though strictly speaking, the right to possession accrues only when a suit for specific performance is decreed. Indisputably, such a decree for possession and oblique or partition is prayed for an anticipation of the grant of prayer for specific performance of contract. The only person who could question the said decree for partition was respondent number 4. As noticed herein before, a decree as against him has attained finally, as she did not preferred and any appeal thereagainst. The said decree for partition therefore has attained finality. No decree for specific performance of contract, however, has been passed as against the respondent numbers 4 and 5. They are, however, otherwise bound by the decree passed by the learned trial judge. Therefore, they are also proper parties, though not necessary parties. Before parting with this case, however, we may observe that the manner in which the decree has been passed by the learned trial court is open to question, inasmuch as relief in terms of section 22 of the Specific Relief Act, being incidental and ancillary to the main relief of specific performance of contract, and furthermore being in addition thereto. Ordinarily, a proceeding for grant of a final decree for partition should be initiated after the sale deed in terms of the decree for specific performance of contract is executed and registered, and not vice versa. The said provision has been enacted for the benefit of the purchaser and thus cannot operate to his detriment. We may notice that under the old Specific Relief Act, the plaintiff was not only required to relinquish his claim of specific contract as regard that part of the contract which cannot be performed, but also was required to pay the entire amount of consideration. Whereas in terms of section 12 within bracket 3 of the new Specific Relief Act 1963, he is now required to pay the amount of consideration proportionately. The house being divisible and the appellant being not a consenting party to the contract, equity and justice demand partial enforcement of the contract instead of refusing specific performance in its entirety, which would meet the ends of justice.